Hey guys, welcome back to another Snobby beer review. I'm Max Bang as always, and as you can see, we got a little bit of a different setup here. I have to use my laptop for shooting this. Due to some recent events, I digress. We've got beer to drink, and we've got the Bruery's Autumn Maple. This is a Belgian style brown ale. This is kind of their version of the seasonal pumpkin beer, except they don't use pumpkins, they use yams. They got a ton of yams, molasses, what else do they have in here? Maple syrup and spices. So this is a pretty crazy beer, and I'm really excited to drink it. Alright, as for the appearance, it's a hazy brown, murky color. A little bit of head. It's kind of like a brownish white head. Lots of really small bubbles in the glass. And the head's pretty much dissipating. It's, you know, there's not much head to speak of now. This is a very typical Belgian looking beer. You know, it's that murky brown, almost Coca-Cola, maybe a little, you know, a lot more red. But it's just a Belgian looking beer through and through. Okay, as for the smell, there's a lot of like dark fruits. You know, it almost smells like a good Belgian quad or something like that. There's a good amount of like you know, buttered yams or butter sweet potatoes or something like that. That's definitely present in this beer. There's no maple sugar that I can smell. There's no alcohol. I mean, you know, the smell is, it's more like a Belgian quad, like I said, than it is, you know, a crazy beer with all these, you know, crazy ingredients in it, at least from what I'm getting. I've given this a chance to warm up a little bit, and the smell is really starting to open up and become alive. It's very reminiscent of a pumpkin beer, except not quite as spicy. You know, pumpkin and other pumpkin beers and imperial pumpkin beers, they have a big amount of, like, you know, nutmeg and cinnamon. And that's in here, but it's pretty subtle. I mean, this doesn't taste like pumpkin pie. I mean, or smell like pumpkin pie, I should say. It's got that yam smell, but, you know, the yam smell, if you didn't know any better, you would kind of assume it was pumpkin, or you might not even notice it. I mean, unless you're specifically smelling for yams, which I guess if you read the description, then you are. But unless you're specifically smelling for yams, then I don't think that you'd be able to say, oh, this smells like yams. The maple syrup character is definitely coming out too with now that it's warmed up. All right, as for the taste, this is really excellent. This tastes more like a Belgian quad than it does like a pumpkin beer or a, you know, an Oktoberfest or something like that. I mean, it's like almost, you know, Saint Bernardist or whatever else. You know, it's just got that dark fruit, and you can definitely taste the yams, but they're not quite as. It's not quite as like squash flavored or like pumpkin flavored or yam flavored. It's not quite as strong as I expected. I mean, it is very good, and there's a definite like buttery yam flavor in this. There's some definite pecan flavor, a little bit of that spiciness. There's definitely a good amount of like that Belgian yeasty spiciness kind of flavor. Now that it's warmed up a little bit, the character is definitely growing. I mean, this is one of those beers that, as it warms up, you know, it's like every sip it tastes different. The maple is definitely coming out. The spices, like the nutmeg and allspice, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, that's all coming out too. I mean, this is really good. This is probably one of my favorite fall seasonal beers that I've had this year so far. This is 2011. Honestly though, the biggest thing that I'm getting from this beer is just like dark fruit, like Belgian quad dark fruit. Alright, the mouthfeel on this, It's one of those rare beers that it's full bodied. You know, it's approaching chewy. It's a pretty substantial beer, yet it's really really drinkable. I mean, the sweetness. I mean, it's very very sweet. It'd be a good appetizer beer. You know, a beer like if you're hungry and thirsty. You know, reach for one of these. But like I said, it's really drinkable. It's not thick. I mean, it's not like a milkshake or anything like that. It's one of those freaky beers that it's like full bodied yet extremely drinkable. There's very little carbonation in this. You know, slim to none, and it's pretty warming too. I mean, it's not hot at all, but you know, you can as you take a few more sips, it kind of you know warms you up a little bit for sure. All right, as for the score for the Bruery's Autumn Maple, I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 5 on this one. This is ridiculously good. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite fall seasonals that I've had so far this year. Really drinkable, but really like full-bodied, complex as hell. You know, it's got everything going for it. That wraps it up for the Bruery's Autumn Maple. It's available now. Get it while you can. It's pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it. It says on the bottle that you can age it for up to 5 years, so go ahead and buy 5 of them and drink one now, then drink one next year, and then drink another one, so on and so forth, till you're done with 5. But you know, 10.5%. Can't taste the alcohol at all. It's a little bit dangerous. Excellent beer. But you guys know what to do. Grab a beer, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think of this. This is kind of a crazy beer, but it's good. Cheers. I mean, this is... Oh God, I just spilled it. Dang it. Okay, that's going at the end. Did I mention it's 10.5%?